There's something about TV shows set in the past that pulls us in.
Thomas Shelby has a reputation to uphold.
Historical dramas let us escape to another time.
Welcome to Downton.
And we can't get enough. But have you ever stopped to think what it would really be like to live back then?
And we'll keep heading north till I find country's worth the journey.
In this video, the Positive Energy Campaign is taking you back and showing you what life was like in America before the energy industry took off. Let's rewind to a time when life was, well, not so convenient. First up, cooking. Today, you just turn a knob and boom, instant flame. But 150 years ago, things looked very different. Back in the 1800s, American families cooked every meal over a wood-burning fire. No gas stoves, no microwaves, and no preheating at the push of a button. Cooking took forever, and if you wanted pancakes, you had to chop wood first. Now, let's talk about heat. Less than 100 years ago, Americans had to heat their homes with wood or coal. Only the room with the fireplace stayed warm, and the bedrooms, well, they were typically freezing. In fact, sometimes people slept with hot rocks in their beds to stay warm. Seriously, hot rocks. And what about those long, hot showers you take every day? Well, 100 years ago, things weren't quite so luxurious. Before modern water heaters, you had to heat water on a stove. Baths took hours to prepare, and once the water cooled off, well, that was just too bad. You don't see this way of living in America anymore, but for nearly 775 million people worldwide, it's still reality. That's because almost 10% of the global population lives without access to electricity every day. But it's not just electricity. Imagine life without plastics. Back in the day, people had to weave their own fabrics, often by hand, and your choices were strictly cotton, wool, or linen. Tools and household goods like cooking pots and furniture were either wood, metal, or stone. Without refrigeration or plastic packaging, the majority of food had to be canned, dried, or salted to keep it fresh. Back then, life was much more hands-on. And most things required hours, if not days, of work. But then oil came into play, and boom! In 1907, plastics were born. Now we're literally surrounded by them. From the clothes we wear to the gadgets in our hands, plastics are everywhere. They're in food packaging, toothbrushes, and even cars. But our reliance on plastics has created a problem. Over 8 million tons of plastic waste end up in the ocean every year, and that alone can harm marine life, pollute our food chain, and warm our oceans. Just take a look at the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It's about twice the size of Texas and growing. It's basically a floating island of trash filled with plastics that get stuck because of the ocean currents. There's also growing evidence that plastics can pose serious risks to human health. So where do we even start with this global problem? Likely, the answer will come from every single one of us, starting small. Things like using reusable bags instead of plastic ones, or trying beeswax wrap instead of plastic wrap, switching to bar soap instead of liquid soap, or choosing products with less packaging. Using laundry detergent strips or pods instead of jugs of liquid detergent, or filtering your water at home instead of buying bottled water. Every action adds up, and the more we rethink our daily choices, the closer we get to a cleaner future. Like this video and subscribe to the Positive Energy Campaign for more energy facts. The Positive Energy Campaign. Energy matters. The future depends on it.